Your kid used to run at you full speed, yelling, "Mom, look at this rock. It's the best rock ever." Now they walk past you like a coworker who's 2 days from quitting. They still love you. They're just quietly wondering, do they love me or the version of me that makes them proud? No parent wakes up and says,
"Today I'm gonna mess up my kid's sense of self-worth."
But in 1,000 tiny, very normal parenting moments, we accidentally teach this rule. Love equals approval. Approval equals performance. So if I mess up, I lose love. And what makes this dangerous isn't childhood. It's what this turns into in adulthood when love always feels earned. Here's how to do this without meaning to, and how to undo it before they grow up thinking relationships are performance contracts. Number 1, when praise only shows up after achievement. Have you ever noticed how different your energy is on good news days versus quiet ones? From our side, it sounds totally normal. "I'm so proud of you for that A." "You scored. I'm so proud." "You got in. That's my kid." We should celebrate achievements. The problem is when love gets loud only when they win and goes quiet the rest of the time. Your teen's nervous system quietly writes this formula. When I do well, they light up, hug me, post about me, call relatives. When I'm average or struggling, everyone's busy. So instead of, "I'm loved and I did well," they absorb, "I'm loved because I did well." That sounds small. It's not. Remember this. It matters when we talk about control in a minute. Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck found that kids praised for being smart rather than for their effort become less persistent after failure. They start to believe that if they have to try hard, it means they're not actually smart. When they hit something difficult, their confidence crashes because success meant they were smart. So, failure or difficulty must mean they're not. The first time they don't do well, their brain doesn't think, "Ah, that sucks. I'll try again." It thinks, no achievement equals no sparkle in their eyes equals no me. Now they're not studying for the grade. They're studying to keep your love. Number 2, when affection has a mood switch. This is the moment most teens decide honesty isn't worth it. Notice how different it feels like this. Good day, joking, eye contact, hugs, love you. Bad day, silence, clipped answers, disappointment you can feel in the air. You're human. You're allowed to have moods. But kids don't see, "Mom had a rough work day." They see, "When I don't meet expectations, the warmth turns off." You didn't say, "My love is conditional." Their body heard, "The safer I am is directly tied to how well I perform." So they adapt. Hide bad grades. Edit stories. Don't mention drama. Say, "It's fine," when it's absolutely not. Not to be sneaky, to avoid that microsecond when your face falls before you pretend it didn't. A Washington State University study found that when parents suppressed their emotions around their kids, children had a measurable psychological stress response, even when nothing was said out loud. Their nervous system picked up on it. That 0.5 second when your face changes, they replay that at 2 a.m. for years. Number 3, when we only celebrate good feelings. Most parents hear this and think, "That's not me." That's exactly why it works. Ask yourself honestly, who do you hug harder? The happy, bubbly, fine version of your kid, or the messy, crying, "I hate everything" version? If you're not careful, kids start noticing. Happy me equals hugs, jokes, attention. Sad or angry me equals sighs, lectures, fixes, or go to your room. We're not doing it on purpose. We're just tired, scared, overwhelmed. But they internalize, "The parts of me that get love are the ones that don't bother anyone." So they start crying only with friends, in the shower, online, joking whenever they're actually hurting, saying, "I'm just tired," instead of, "I feel empty." Research on emotional suppression in adolescence shows that teens hide feelings when they've learned expressing vulnerability leads to negative responses. Shame is one of the top barriers preventing teens from seeking help when they actually need it. Congratulations, we just taught them real love prefers the easy version of me. Fast forward 10 years and that's exactly how they'll pick friends and partners. People they have to be easy for. And when someone does offer unconditional love, they don't trust it because the first version they met was ours and it wasn't. Number 4, when jokes about them land like rules. This becomes important later. Stuff we say trying to be funny. This is my responsible one. That's the lazy one. He's the smart one. She's the social one. You're the difficult one. We never know what mood we'll get. Out of all my kids, you are the most drama. Everyone laughs. They roll their eyes. You move on. Their brain does not. Labeling theory shows that when families assign consistent labels, even as jokes, kids start adopting them as their identity. The label becomes the lens through which they see themselves. They quietly log, "This is my role in this family. If I step outside it, I lose my place." So, the smart one panics when they fail. The easy one never says when they're struggling. The dramatic one overcompensates or shuts down completely. Love starts feeling like, "We love the version of you that fits the character we gave you. Don't change." Now they're just afraid of failing your expectations. They're afraid of outgrowing the box you taped them into. Number 5, when "I'm disappointed" hits harder than any grounding. This is where it gets uncomfortable. We love this line.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Because it feels gentler than yelling. No swearing, no drama, no throwing shoes. But to a teen, disappointed is code for, "You just dropped in my internal ranking as a child." Especially when it follows a grade that's not like you, a choice that doesn't match your values, a boundary they set that you don't like. They don't hear, "I believe you can do better." They hear, "You, as you are in this moment, are not enough." Parenting researchers found that disappointment language targets identity rather than behavior. When you say, "I'm disappointed in you," instead of, "I'm disappointed in this choice," it gets filed away as a statement about who they are, not what they did. That becomes shame. And shame creates anxiety tied directly to self-worth. So next time, they lie, they hide, they half-tell the story. Not because they're liars, because they'd rather risk punishment than see that look on your face again. Number 6, when help always comes with a side of shame. Up to now, this has been about shame. What comes next is about self-erasure. Your teen messes up. They forget the form, blow the deadline, bomb the test, say something awful to a sibling. You swoop in and fix it. Email the teacher, drive the forgotten thing, smooth it over with the adult, help them clean it up, which is good. They need support. Then we add, "You always do this. Honestly, when are you going to grow up? I can't believe I still have to remind you. Do you know how embarrassing this is for me?" What they hear is, you get help, but the price is feeling like a disappointment. So, next time they mess up, they have to pick suffer alone or ask for help and pay with shame. A lot of teens quietly choose suffer alone. Not because they want to be independent, but because they don't want to stand there watching your face rearrange itself into regret for having them. Research confirms shame and fear of judgment are among the most consistent barriers teens report when it comes to asking for help. The help is available. They just can't get past the feeling that needing it makes them less. Number 7, when their no costs them your warmth. This is where love quietly turns into control, and teens stop trusting their own instincts. Small stuff, but it adds up. They say, "I really don't want to hug Uncle right now." We say, "Don't be rude. He'll be offended." They say, "I don't want to talk about this right now." We say, "Don't you dare walk away from me. We are going to talk about it." They say, "That joke hurts my feelings." We say, "Relax, you're too sensitive." Translation their brain receives, "If I set a boundary, I lose connection. So if I want love, I have to override myself." That is conditional love, even if we don't call it that. A longitudinal study out of the University of Virginia tracked teens from the age 13 to 21 and found that the more psychological control teens experienced early on, the worse they were at building healthy relationships years later. The skills don't recover on their own. By the time they're older, they've practiced overriding themselves so long, they don't even feel when a boundary's crossed. They just feel, tired, and weirdly guilty for wanting anything. Number 8, when we confuse control with care. You'll see this pattern again in a second. We say, text me every hour so I know you're safe. Send me a picture of where you're at. Let me go through your phone. I'm your parent. We mean, I love you, and I'm terrified something will happen to you. They hear,
I love you when I feel fully in control of you.
They don't experience that as love. They experience that as surveillance. And deep down, if I don't obey these rules, I don't just lose privileges, I lose their sense of safety with me, which feels like losing them. Research on parental monitoring is clear. Surveillant monitoring is associated with teens becoming more secretive. Trust builds through conversation, not control. So many teens end up thinking, being loved means always being watched, doubted, and checked. That's the kind of relationship they'll find normal as adults if no one ever shows them another kind. If this is landing heavy, good. It means you care. Parents who don't care don't feel this. Number 9. So, did we all just ruin our kids? Everything up to now explains the damage. This is where the repair starts. Short answer, no. If conditional love truly broke kids permanently, none of us would be functioning. Here's the magic no one tells parents. The thing that hurt them can become the moment that heals them if we're brave enough to name it. Research on parental apologies backs this up. Sincere, victim-centered apologies restore teens' sense of autonomy, self-worth, and connection. Defensive apologies do nothing. The real ones worked. You don't need a perfect monologue. You just need some version of this. I'm realizing I taught you some harsh things about love, that you're most lovable when you're doing well, being easy, or making me proud. That is not what I meant, but I can see how my words and reactions said that. I'm sorry. I don't want you to have to earn love from me. You already have it. Even when you mess up, even when we disagree, even when I'm scared. Will they cry? Maybe. Will they shrug and say, it's whatever? Also maybe. Doesn't matter. Their body will remember, wow, they saw it and they didn't blame me for feeling that way. That's how you start rewriting love is conditional into love is safe, even when I'm not perfect. Tiny things you can change this week. This is where most parents think change requires a personality transplant. It doesn't. Praise effort and character, not just outcomes. I'm proud of how you kept going. It's way deeper than, I'm proud you got an A. Say, I love you on ordinary, nothing special days, especially after conflict. Catch yourself when your face drops. If they see it, name it. That look wasn't about you not being enough. It was my fear. That's my stuff, not your worth. Let them have bad days without losing warmth. Grumpy kids still get soft eyes and a plate of food. Apologize when you use their vulnerability as a weapon. No explanation, just, that wasn't okay. You trusted me and I mishandled it. I'm sorry. But here's the truth. You probably have accidentally taught your teen that love is conditional. Most of us did. We're learning this as we go. But the moment you start showing them, my love is bigger than your report card, your mood, your success, or how closely you match my dreams, is the moment their brain gets to try on a new story. Maybe I really am lovable, even when I'm just me. And that story, that's the one they'll carry into every friendship, relationship, and family they build after you. If this made you rethink moments you thought were harmless, the next video explains what kids actually learn when love goes quiet.